Here comes the Duke.
Here comes the Duke. Act 3, Scene 1, Milan, the Duke's palace. Enter Duke, Thurio, and Proteus. So Thurio, give us leave, I pray, a while. We have some secrets to confer about. Now tell me, Proteus, what's your will with me?
My gracious lord, that which I would discover, the law of friendship bids me to conceal. But when I call to mind your gracious favors done to me, undeserving as I am, my duty pricks me on to utter that which else no worldly good should draw from me. No, worthy prince, Sir Valentine, my friend, this night intends to steal away your daughter. Myself am one made privy to the plot. I know you have determined to bestow her on Thurio, whom your gentle daughter hates. And should she thus be stolen away from you, it would be much vexation to your age. Thus, for my duty's sake, I rather choose to cross my friend in this intended drift, than by concealing it heap upon your head a pack of sorrows which would press you down, being unprevented to your timeless grave.
Proteus, I thank thee for thy honest care, which to requite command me while I live. This love of theirs myself have often seen, haply when they have judged me fast asleep, and oftentimes have purposed to forbid Sir Valentine her company and my court, but fearing lest my jealous aim might err, and so unworthily disgrace the man, a rashness that I ever yet have shunned, I gave him gentle looks, thereby to find that which thyself hast now disclosed to me. And that thou mayest perceive my fear of this, knowing that tender youth is soon suggested, I nightly lodge her in an upper tower, the key whereof myself have ever kept, and thence she cannot be conveyed away.
No, noble lord, they have devised a mean how he her chamber window will ascend, and with a corded ladder fetch her down, for which the youthful lover now is gone, and this way comes he with it presently, where, if it please you, you may intercept him. But, good my lord, do it so cunningly that my discovery be not aimed at. For love of you, not hate unto my friend, hath made me publisher of this pretense.
Upon mine honor, he shall never know that I had any light from thee of this.
Adieu, my lord. Sir Valentine is coming.
Sir Valentine, whither away so fast?
Please, your grace, there is a messenger that stays to bear my letters to my friends, and I am going to deliver them.
Be they of much import?
Well, the tenor of them doth but signify my health and happy being at your court.
Nay, then, no matter. Stay with me a while. I am to break with thee of some affairs that touch me near, wherein thou must be secret. 'Tis not unknown to thee that I have sought to match my friend Sir Thurio to my daughter.
No, yes, I know it. Excuse me. I know it well, my lord, and I'm sure the match were rich and honorable. Besides, the gentleman is full of virtue, bounty, worth, and qualities beseeming such a wife as your fair daughter. Cannot your grace win her to fancy here? Mike? Where's Mike?
Fell off the screen.
Mike. Oh, Mike. Where's Mike gone?
He broke his hammock.
Oh, quick, step in, Duke 2. Peter.
What's the line?
No, trust me.
Okay. Oh, That's the line? No, trust me. He is peevish, sullen, and forward. Proud, disobedient, stubborn, lacking duty, neither regarding that she said to my child, nor fearing me as if I were her father. And may I say to thee, this pride of hers, upon advice, had drawn my love from her. And where I thought the remnant of mine age should have been cherished by her childlike duty, I am now fully resolved to take a wife and turn her out to who will take her in. And then let her beauty be her wedding dower. For me and my possessions she esteems not.
What would your grace have me do in this?
Well, there is a lady of Verona here who I affect, but she is nice, and she is nice and coy, not extremes my aged eloquence. Now, therefore, would I have thee to my tutor, for long agone I have forgot to court. Besides, the fashion of the time is changed. How, which way I may bestow myself to be regarded in her sun-bright eye?
Oh, win her with gifts, if she respects not words. Dumb jewels often in their silent kind, more than quick words do move a woman's mind. Well,
but she did scorn a present that I did send her.
A woman sometimes scorns what best contents her. Send her another. Never give her over, for scorn at first makes after love the more. If she do frown, 'tis not in hate of you, but rather to beget more love in you. If she do chide, 'tis not to have you gone. For why the fools are mad, if left alone. Take no repulse, whatever she doth say. For get you gone, she doth not mean away. Flatter and praise, commend, extol their graces. Though ne'er so black, say they have angels' faces. That man that hath a tongue, I say, is no man, if with his tongue he cannot win a woman.
But he, I mean, is promised by her friends unto a youthful gentleman of worth, and kept severely from the resort of men, that no man hath access by day to her.
Why then I would resort to her by night.
Aye, but the doors be locked and the keys be kept safe, that no man hath recourse to her by night.
What lets but one may enter at her window?
Her chamber is aloft, far from the ground, and built so shelving that one cannot climb it without apparent hazard of his life.
Why then a ladder, quaintly made of cords, to cast up with a pair of anchoring hooks, would serve to scale another hero's tower, so bold Leander would adventure it.
Now, as thou art a gentleman of blood, advise me where I may have such a ladder.
Well, when would you use it? Pray, sir, tell me that.
Well, this very night, for love is like a child that longs for everything that he can come by.
By 7 o'clock, I'll get you such a ladder.
But hark thee, I will go to her alone. How shalt I best convey the ladder thither?
It will be light, my lord. Then you may bear it under a cloak that is of any length.
A cloak as long as thine will serve the turn.
Oh, aye, my good lord.
Then let me see their cloak. I'll get me one of such another length.
Why, my cloak will serve the turn, my lord.
How shall I fashion me to wear a cloak? I pray thee, let me feel that cloak upon me. Ooh, what letter is this? What's here? To Sylvia. And here an engine fit for my proceeding. I'll be so bold as to break the seal for once. Aha. My thoughts do harbor with my Sylvia nightly, and slaves that are to me that send them flying. Oh, could their master come and go as lightly, himself would lodge fair, senseless they are lying. My herald thoughts in thy pure bosom rest thee, while I, their king, that thither their importune do curse the grace that with such grace hath blessed them, because myself do want my servants' fortune. I curse myself, for they are sent by me, that they should harbor where their lord should be. What's here? Sylvia, this night I will enfranchise thee. 'Tis so. And here's the ladder for the purpose. Why, Phaeton, for thou art Merop's son, wilt thou aspire to guide this heavenly car, and with thy daring folly burn the world? Wilt thou reach the stars because they shine on thee? Go, base intruder, overtwining slave, bestow those fawning smiles on equal mates, and think, my purchase, my patience, more than thy desert, is privilege for thy departure hence. Thank me for this more than for all the favors which, all too much, I have bestowed on thee. But if thou linger in my territories longer than thou swiftest expedition, will give thee time to leave our royal court. By heaven, my wrath shall far exceed the love I ever bore my daughter or thyself. Begone. I will not hear thy vain excuse, but as thou lovest thy life, make speed from hence.
And why not death rather than living torment? To die is to be banished from myself. Sylvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. What light is light if Sylvia be not seen? What joy is joy if Sylvia be not by? Unless it be to think that she is by, and feed upon the shadow of perfection, except I be by Sylvia in the night. There is no music in the nightingale, unless I look on Sylvia in a day. There is no day for me to look upon. She is my essence, and I leave to be, if I be not by her fair influence, fostered, illumined, cherished, kept alive. I fly not death to fly his deadly doom. Tarry I here, but attend on death. But I fly, I fly away from life.
Run, boy, run, and seek him out.
So.
What seest thou?
Well, him we go to find. There's no hair on his head, but it is a Valentine.
Valentine?
No,
Who then? His spirit?
neither.
What then?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, neither. Sorry.
Can nothing speak? Master, shall I strike?
Who wouldest thou strike?
Nothing.
Villain, forbear.
Why, sir, I'll strike nothing. I pray you.
Sirrah, I say forbear. Friend Valentine, a word.
And my ears are stopped, and I cannot hear good news. So much of bad already hath possessed them.
Then in dumb silence I will bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad.
Is Sylvia dead?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine, indeed, for sacred Sylvia. Has she forsworn me?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine, if Sylvia has forsworn me, what is your news?
Sir, there is a proclamation that you are vanished.
Thou art banished. Oh, that's the news. From hence, from Sylvia, and from me, thy friend.
Oh, I have fed upon this woe already. And now excessive it will make me surfeit. Does Sylvia know that I am banished?
Aye, and she hath offered to the doom, which, unreserved, sends in effectual force. A sea of melting pearl, which some call tears, those at her father's churlish feet she tendered, with them upon her knees, her humbled self writhing her hands. Those whiteness so became them, as if but now they were waxed pale for woe. But neither bended knee, pure hands held up, sad sighs, deep groans, nor silver shedded tears could penetrate her uncompassionate sire. But Valentine, if he be ta'en, must die. Besides, her intercession chafed him so, when she for thy repeal was suppliant, that to close prison he commanded her with many bitter threats of biding there.
No more, unless the next word that thou speakest have some malignant power upon my life. If so, I pray thee, breathe it in mine ear, as ending anthem of my endless dolour.
Cease to lament for that thou canst not help, and study help for that which thou lamentest. Time is the nurse and breeder of all good. Here, if thou stay, thou canst not see thy love. Besides, thy staying will abridge thy life. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that, and manage it against despairing thoughts. Thy letters may be here, though thou art hence, which, being writ to me, shall be delivered, even in the milk-white bosom of thy love. The time now serves not to expostulate. Come, I'll convey thee through the city gate, and ere I part with thee, confer at large of all that may concern thy love affairs. As thou lovest Sylvia, though not for thyself, regard thy danger, and along with me.
I pray thee, Launce, and if thou seest my boy, bid him make haste and meet me at the north gate.
Go, sirrah, find him out. Come, Valentine.
Oh, my dear Sylvia, hapless Valentine.
And with that, we skip to scene 2.
Whoa.
Scroll down to scene 2.
I'm scrolling.
Who am I?
I'm scrolling.
Am I?
I'm really scrolling.
It's an idiot scene of.
Into the same.
There it is.
The Duke's Palace.
That's
I think,
the one.
Peter, you're still the Duke.
I'm still the Duke.
Well, poor Mike. Where's Mike?
I don't know.
I think Mike ran out of
He
battery.
ran out of power. He ran out of power.
Yeah, that's
Just when his part came up. Can you believe that?
Oh,
just when it happened. Yeah.
what? Who to blame?
Oh dear. Okay, I'll read Duke. And I like that because my brother's nickname was Duke. So there we go. Soterio,
Over.
fear not that she will love you. Now Valentine is banished from her sight.
Since his exile, she hath despised me most, forsworn my company, and railed at me, that I am desperate of obtaining her.
Well, this weak impress of her love is as a figure trenched in ice, which with an hour's heat dissolves to water and doth lose his form. A little time will melt her in frozen thoughts, and worthless Valentine shall be forgot. How now, Sir Proteus? Is your countryman, according to your proclamation, gone?
Gone, my good lord.
My daughter takes his going grievously.
A little time, my lord, will kill that grief.
So, I believe, but Thurio thinks not so. Proteus, the good conceit I have of thee, I hold of thee, for thou hast shown some sign of good desert, makes me the better to confirm with thee.
Longer than I prove loyal to your grace, let me not live to look upon your grace.
Thou knowest how willingly I would effect the march between Sir Thurio and my daughter.
I do, my lord.
And also, I think thou art not ignorant how she opposes her against my will.
She did, my lord, when Valentine was here.
Aye. And perversely, she perverses so, perseveres so. I don't know how to say that. But what might we do to make the girl forget the love of Valentine and love Sir Thurio?
The best way is to slander Valentine with falsehood, cowardice, and poor descent. 3 things that women highly hold in hate.
Aye, but she'll think that it is spoken hate.
Aye, if his enemy delivered it. Therefore it must be with circumstance be spoken by one whom she esteems as his friend.
Then you must undertake to slander him.
And that, my lord, I shall be loath to do, till an ill office for a gentleman, especially against his very friend.
Where your good word cannot advantage him, your slander can never undamage him. Therefore, the office is indifferent, being entreated to it by your friend.
You have prevailed, my lord. If I can do it by aught that I can speak in his dispraise, she shall not long continue to love him. But say this weed her love from Valentine, it follows not that she will love Sir Thurio.
Therefore, as you unwind her love from him, lest it should ravel and be good to none, you must provide to bottom it on me. We must be done by praising me as much as you in worth dispraise Sir Valentine.
And Proteus, we dare trust you in this kind because we know on Valentine's report you are already love's firm votary and cannot soon revolt and change your mind. Upon this warrant shall you have access to where you and with Sylvia may confer at large, for she is lumpish, heavy, melancholy, and for your friend's sake will be glad of you, where you may temper her with your persuasion to hate young Valentine and love my friend.
As much as I can do, I will effect. But you, Sir Thurio, are not sharp enough. You must lay lime to tangle her desires. By wailful sonnets, whose composed rhymes should be full fraught with servile vows.
Aye, much is the force of heaven bred poesy.
Say that upon the altar of her beauty, you sacrifice your tears, your sighs, your heart. Write till your ink be dry, and with your tears moist it again, and frame some feeling line that may discover such integrity. For Orpheus' lute was strung with poets' sinews, whose golden touch could soften steel and stones, make tigers tame, and huge leviathans forsake unsounded depths to dance on sands. After your dire lamenting elegies, visit by night your lady's chamber window. With some sweet concert to their instruments, tune a deploring dump. The night's dead silence will well become such sweet complaining grievance. This, or else nothing, will inherit her.
This discipline shows that thou hast been in love.
And thy advice this night I'll put in practice. Therefore, sweet Proteus, my direction giver, let us into the city presently to sort some gentleman well skilled in music. I have a sonnet that will serve the turn to give the onset to thy good advice.
About it, gentlemen.
We'll wait upon your grace till after supper, and afterward determine our proceeding.
Even now about it, I will pardon you.
Act 4, Scene 1, the frontiers of Mantua, a forest. Fellows, oh, wait a minute. We might not have Mike. So, Peter, maybe you could read the second outlaw.
What, outlaw number 2?
Yes.
All right.
Fellows, stand fast. I see a passenger.
Well, there be 10, straight not, but down with 'em.
Stand, sir, and throw us that what you have about ye. If not, we'll make you sit and rifle you.
Sir, we are undone. These are the villains that the travelers do fear so much.
My friends,
There is not so, sir. We are your enemies.
Peace, we'll hear him.
Aye, by my beard, will we, for he is a proper man.
Then know that I have little wealth to lose. A man, I am crossed with adversity. My riches are these poor habiliments, of which if you should here disfurnish me, you take the sum and substance that I have.
Whither traveled you?
To Verona,
Whence came you?
from Milan,
Have you long sojourned there?
oh, some 16 months, and longer might have stayed if crooked fortune had not thwarted me.
What? Were you banished thence?
I was.
For what offense?
For that which now torments me to rehearse. I killed a man, oh, whose death I much repent. But yet I slew him manfully in a fight, without false vantage or base treachery.
I never repent it, for if it were done so, what? But you were banished for so small a fault.
I was, and held me glad of such a doom.
Have you the tongues?
My youthful travel therein made me happy, or else I often had been miserable.
By the bare scalp of Robin Hood's fat friar, this fellow were a king for our wild faction.
We'll have him. Sirs, a word over here. Masters, be one of them. It is a honorable kind of thievery.
Peace, villain.
Tell us this. Have you anything to take to?
No, nothing but my fortune.
Know then that some of us are gentlemen, such as the fury of ungoverned youth, thrust from the company of awful men. Myself was from Verona banished for practicing to steal away a lady, an heir, and near allied unto the Duke.
And I from Mantua, for a gentleman who, in my mood, stabbed unto the heart.
I for such petty crimes as these, and but for the purpose for we cite our faults, and that we may hold excused our lawless lives, and partly seeing you are beautified with goodly shape, and by your own report a linguist and a man of such perfection as we do in our quality much want.
Indeed, you are, because you are a banished man, therefore, above the rest, we parley to you. Are you content to be our general, to make a virtue of necessity, and live as we do in this wilderness?
What sayest thou? Wilt thou be of our consort? Say aye, and be captain of us all. We'll do thee homage and be ruled by thee. Love thee as our common commander and our king.
But if you scorn our courtesy, thou diest.
Thou shalt not live to brag what we have offered.
I take your offer and will live with you, provided that you do no outrages on silly women or poor passengers.
No, we detest such vile, base practices. Come, go with us. We'll bring thee to our cruise and show thee all the treasures we have got, which with ourselves all rest at thy dispose.
Okay, Peter, this is where you're Proteus, right?
Oh, okay, thank you.
Crodius and the Duke.
Well, we'll see how he goes along. But I've got another one coming up soon. Already have I been valsed to Valentine, and now I must be his unjust tutorio. Under the color of commending him, I have accessed my own love to prefer. But Sylvia is too fair, too true, too holy to be corrupted with me and my worthless gifts. When I protest true loyalty to her, she twits me with her falsehood to my friend. When to her beauty I commend my views, she bids me think how I have been forsworn in breaking faith with Julia, whom I loved. And notwithstanding all her sudden quips, the least whereof would quell a lover's hope. And yet, spaniel-like, with the more she spurns my love, and the more it grows and falleth upon her still. Oh, here comes Torio. Now we must to her window and give some evening music to her ear.
How now, Sir Proteus? Are you crept before us?
Yes, I, gentle Thurio, for you know that love will creep in service. Where can I go?
Aye, but I hope, sir, that you love not here.
Sir, but I do, or else I would be hence.
Who? Sylvia?
Aye, Sylvia, for your sake.
I thank you for your own. Now, gentlemen, let's tune and to it lustily a while.
Now, my young guest, methinks your alley cholly, I pray you, why is it?
Marry mine host, because I cannot be merry.
Come, we'll have you marry. I'll bring you where you shall hear music and see the gentleman that you asked for.
But shall I hear him speak?
Aye, that you shall.
That will be music.
Hark, hark.
Is he among those?
Aye, but peace, let's hear him. Who is Sylvia? What she, that all our swains commend her. Wholly fair and wise is she, the heaven such grace did lend her, that she might admired be. Is she kind? Is she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness. Love doth to her eyes repair, to help him of his blindness. And being helped inhabits there. Then to Sylvia let us sing, that Sylvia is excelling. She excels each mortal thing upon the dull earth dwelling. To her let us garlands bring. Oh no! Are you sadder that you were before? How do you, man? The music likes you not.
You mistake. The musician likes me not.
Why, my pretty youth?
He plays false, father.
How? Out of tune on the strings?
Not so, but yet so false that he grieves my very heartstring.
You have a quick ear.
I would I were deaf. It makes me have a slow heart.
I perceive you delight not in music.
Not a whit, when it jars so.
Hark, what fine change is in the music.
Aye, that changes the spite.
You would have them always play but one thing?
I would always have one say but one thing. But host, doth this Sir Proteus that we talk on often resort unto this gentlewoman?
I'll tell you what, Lance, his man told me he loved her out of all Nick.
Where is Lance?
Gone to seek his dog, which tomorrow, by his master's command, he must carry for a present to his lady.
Peace, stand aside, the company parts.
Sir Thurio, fear you not. I will so plead that you shall say my cunning drift excels.
Where meet we?
At St. Gregory's Well.
Farewell.
Madam, good even to your ladyship.
I thank you for your music, gentlemen. Who is that, the spec?
One lady, if you knew his pure heart's truth, you would quickly learn to know him by his voice.
Sir Proteus, as I take it.
Sir Proteus, gentle lady, and your servant.
What's your will?
That I may compass yours.
You have your wish. My will is even this, that presently you hie you home to bed. Thou subtle, perjured, false, disloyal man, thinkest thou I'm a shallow, so conceitless, to be seduced by thy flattery, that hast deceived so many with thy vows? Return, and make thy love amends. For me, by this pale queen of night, I swear, I'm so far from granting thy request that I despise thee for thy wrongful suit, and by intend to chide myself. Even for this time, I spend it talking to thee.
Well, I grant, sweet love, that I did love a lady, but she is dead.
'twere false if I should speak it, for I am sure she is not burned.
Say that she be, yet Valentine thy friend survives, to whom thyself art witness. I am betrothed, and art thou not ashamed to wrong him with thy impertinency?
I likewise hear that Valentine is dead.
And so suppose am I, for in his grave assure thyself my love is buried.
Sweet lady, let me rake it from the earth.
Go to thy lady's grave and call her thence, or at the least in her sepulchre thine.
He heard not that.
Oh, madam, if your heart be so obdurate, vouchsafe me yet your picture for my love. The picture that is hanging in your chamber, to that I'll speak, to that I'll sigh and weep. For since the substance of your perfect self is else devoted, I am but a shadow, and to your shadow I will make true love.
If 'twere a substance, you would, sure, deceive it, and make it but a shadow, as I am.
I am very loath to be your idol, sir, but since your falsehood shall become you well, to worship shadows and adore false shapes, send to me in the morning, and I will send it, and so good rest.
And wretches have all night that wait for execution in the morn.
Post, will you go?
By my halidom, I was fast asleep.
Pray you, where lies Sir Proteus?
Mary, at my house, trust me, I think 'tis almost day.
Not so, but it hath been the longest night that e'er I watched, and the most heaviest.
Scene 3, the same. Enter Eglamour. This is the hour that Madame Sylvia entreated me to call and know her mind. There's some great matter that she'd employ me in. Madam, madam.
Who calls?
Oh, your servant and your friend, one that attends your ladyship's command.
Sir Eglamour, 1,000 times good morrow.
As many worthy to yourself. According to your lady's impose, I am thus early come to know what service it is your pleasure to command me in.
Oh, Eglamour, thou art a gentleman. Think not I flatter, for I swear I do not. Valiant, wise, remorseful, well accomplished, thou art not ignorant what dear goodwill I bear unto the banished Valentine, nor how my father would enforce marry vain Thurio, whom my very soul abhors. Thyself hast loved, and I have heard thee say no grief did ever come so near thy heart as when thy lady and thy true love died, upon whose grave thou vowest pure chastity. Sir Eglamour, I would to Valentine, to Mantua, where I hear he makes abode, and for the ways are dangerous to pass, I do desire thy worthy company, upon whose faith and honor I repose. Urge not my father's anger, Eglamour, but think upon my grief, a lady's grief, and on the justice of my flying hence, to keep me from a most unholy match, which heaven and fortune still rewards with plagues. I do desire thee even from a heart, and full of sorrows as the sea of sands, to bear me company and go with me, if not to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart alone.
Madam, I pity much your grievances, but which since I know they virtuously are placed, I give consent to you to go along with you, and reckoning as little as what betideth me, as much I wish all good befortune you. When will you go?
This evening coming,
Where shall I meet you?
at Friar Patrick's cell, where I intend holy confession.
I will not fail you, your ladyship. Good morrow, lady, gentle lady.
Good morrow, kind Sir Iglamore.
I will not fail.
Oh, scene 4. The same.
And Lance with his dog.
Working with the dog.
Yeah.
When a man's servant shall play the cur with him, look you, it goes hard. One that I brought up of a puppy, one that I saved from drowning when 3 or 4 of his blind brothers and sisters went to it. I have taught him, even as one should say precisely, thus I would teach a dog. So I was sent to the room as a present to Mistress Sylvia from my master, and I came no sooner into the dining chamber than he steps me to her trencher and steals her capon's leg, her chicken's leg. Oh, 'tis a foul thing when a cur can keep himself in all companies. I would have, as one should say, one that takes upon him to be a dog indeed, to be, as it were, a dog in all things. If I had not had more wit than he, to take a fault upon me that he did, I think verily he'd been hanged for it. Sure as I live, he had suffered for it. You shall judge. So he thrust me himself into the company of 3 or 4 gentleman-like dogs under the Duke's table. He had not been there, bless the mark, a pissing while, but all the chamber smelt him. Out with the dog, says one. What cur is that, says another. Whip him out, says the third. Hang him up, says the Duke. Well, I, having been acquainted with the swell before, I knew it was Crab, and goes me to the fellow that whips the dogs. Friend, quoth I, do you mean to whip the dog? Ay, marry, do I, quoth he. Well, you do him the more wrong, quoth I. 'Twas I did the thing you wot of. Well, he makes no more about it than whips me out of the chamber. Now, how many masters would do this for his servant? Nay, I'll be sworn I have sat in the stocks for puddings he hath stolen, otherwise he had been executed. I have stood in the pillory for geese he hath killed, otherwise he had suffered for it. Yeah, don't think it's not of this now, dog. Nay, I remember the trick you served me when I took my leave of Madam Sylvia. Did not I bid me mark me and do as I do? When didst thou ever see me heave up my leg and make water peace against a gentlewoman's farthingale, against her petticoat? Didst thou ever see me do such a trick?
Sebastian is thy name? I like thee well, and will employ thee in some service presently.
In what you please. I'll do what I can.
I hope thou wilt. How now, you whoreson peasant? Where have you been these 2 days loitering?
Marry, sir, I carried Mistress Sylvia, the dog you bade me.
And what says she to my little jewel?
Oh, Mary, she says your dog was a cur and tells you currish thanks is good enough for such a present.
But she received my dog?
No, indeed, she did not. Here I have brought him back again.
What? Didst thou offer her this from me?
Aye, sir. The other squirrel was stolen from me by the hangman's boys in the marketplace, and then I offered her mine own, who is a dog as big as 10 of yours, and therefore the gift is the greater.
Go get thee hence, and find my dog again, or never return again into my sight. Away, I say! Sayest thou to vex me here? A slave that still an end turns me to shame. Sebastian, I have entertained thee, partly that I have need of such a youth, but can with some discretion do my business, for 'tis no trusting to yond foolish lout, but chiefly for thy face and thy behavior, which, if my augury deceive me not, witness good bringing up, fortune, and truth. Therefore, know thou, for this I entertain thee. Go presently and take this ring with thee. Deliver it to Madam Sylvia. She loved me well, delivered it to me.
It seems you loved not her to leave her token. She is dead, belike?
Not so, I think she lives.
Alas,
Why dost thou cry, alas?
I cannot choose but pity her,
Wherefore there should thou pity her?
because methinks that she loved you as well as you do love your lady Sylvia. She dreams of him that has forgotten love. You dote on her that cares not for your love. 'Tis pity love should be so contrary, and thinking of it makes me cry, alas.
Well, give her that ring, and therewithal this letter. That's her chamber. Tell my lady I claim the promise of her heavenly picture. Your message done, hie home unto my chamber, where thou shalt find me sad and solitary.
How many women would do such a message? Alas, poor Proteus, thou hast entertained a fox to be the shepherd of thy lambs. Alas, poor fool, why do I pity him that with his very heart despiseth me? Because he loves her, he despiseth me. Because I love him, I must pity him. Oh, this ring I gave him when he parted from me to bind him to remember my goodwill. And now am I, unhappy messenger, to plead for that which I would not obtain, to carry that which I would have refused, to praise his face which I would have dispraised. Oh, I am my master's true confirmed love, but cannot be true servant to my master unless I prove false traitor to myself. Yet will I woo for him, but yet so coldly, as heaven it knows I would not have him speed. Gentlewoman, good day. I pray you, by my means, and to bring me where to speak with Madam Sylvia.
What would you with her if that I be she?
If you be she, I do entreat your patience to hear me speak the message I am sent on.
From whom?
From my master, Sir Proteus, madam.
Oh, he sent you for a picture?
Aye, madam.
Ursula, bring my picture there. Go give your master this. Tell him from me. One Julia that his changing thoughts forget would better fit his chamber than this shadow.
Madam, please, you peruse this letter. Pardon me, madam. I have unadvised delivered you a paper that I should not. This is the lady to your ladyship.
I pray thee, let me look on that again.
It may not be. Good madam, pardon me.
There, hold. I will not look upon your master's lines. I know they are stuffed with protestations and full of new-found oaths which he will break as easily as I do tear his paper.
Madam, he sends your ladyship this ring.
The more shame for him that he sends it me, for I have heard him say 1,000 times, his Julia gave it him at his departure. Thought his false finger had profaned the ring, mine shall not do his Julia so much wrong.
She thanks you.
What sayest thou?
I thank you, madam, that you tender her, poor gentlewoman. Uh, My master wrongs her much,
Dost thou know her?
almost as well as I know myself. To think upon her woes, I do protest that I have wept 100 several times.
Belike she thinks that Protestus hath forsook her.
I think she doth, and that's her cause of sorrow.
Is she not passing fair?
And she hath been fairer, madam, than she is. When she did think my master loved her well, she, in my judgment, was as fair as you. But since she did neglect her looking glass and threw her sun expelling mask away, the air hath starved the roses in her cheeks and pinched the lily tincture of her face, that now she is become as black as I.
How tall was she?
Well, about my stature. For at Pentecost, when all our pageants of delight were played, our youth got me to play the woman's part. And I was trimmed in Madame Julia's gown, which served me as fit by all men's judgments, as if the garment had been made for me. Therefore I knew she is about my height, and at that time I made her weep a good, for I did play a lamentable part. Madam, 'twas very Ned passioning for Theseus' perjury and unjust flight, which I so lively acted with my tears that my poor mistress moved therewithal, wept bitterly, and would I might be dead, for if I in thought felt not for her very sorrow.
She is beholding to thee, gentle youth. Alas, poor lady, desolate and left. I weep myself to think upon thy words. Here, youth, there is my purse. I give thee this for thy sweet mistress's sake, because thou lovest her. Farewell.
And she shall thank you for it, if ever you know her. Oh, a virtuous gentlewoman, mild and beautiful. I hope my master's suit will be but cold, since she respects my mistress's love so much. Alas, how love can trifle with itself. Here is her picture. Let me see. I think if I had such attire, this face of mine were full as lovely as is this of hers. And yet the painter flattered her a little, unless I flatter with myself too much. Her hair is auburn, mine is perfect yellow, if that be all the difference in his love. I'll get me such a colored periwig. Her eyes are gray as glass, and so are mine. But her forehead's low and mine's is high. Well, what should it be that he respects in her that I can make respective in myself? If this fond love were not a blinded God? Oh, come, shadow, come and take this shadow up, for 'tis thy rival. Oh, thou senseless form, thou shalt be worshipped, kissed, loved, and adored. Were there sense in his idolatry, my substance should be statue in thy stead. I'll use thee kindly for thy mistress' sake, that used me so. Or else, by Jove, I vow I should have scratched out your unseen eyes to make my master out of love with thee.
5, Scene 1, Milan and Abbey. Enters Sir Eglamour.
Oh,
The sun begins to gild the western sky, and now it is about the very hour that Sylvia at Fire Patrick's cell should meet me. She would not fail, for lovers break not hours, unless it be to come before their time. So much they spur their expedition. See where she comes. Lady, a happy evening.
Amen. Amen. Go on, good Iglamore. Out at the postern by the abbey wall, I fear I'm attended by some spies.
Fear not. The forest is not 3 leagues aloft. If we recover that, we are sure enough seen to the same, the Duke's palace. Thuriel, Protus, and Julia.
Sir Proteus, what says Sylvia to my suit?
Peter, you're up.
Oh,
Oh, it's Keith.
Keith.
Oh, Keith, sorry.
Do you want to do Duke or Proteus?
No, you were going to revive Proteus, so I figured I'd left it there.
Huh?
No?
What did you say? So I do Proteus. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sir, I find her milder than she was, and yet she takes exceptions at your person.
What? That my leg is too long.
No, that is too little.
I'll wear a boot to make it somewhat rounder.
Of love will not be spurred to what it loathes.
What says she to my face?
She says it's a fair one.
Nay then, the wanton lies. My face is black.
But pearls are fair, and the old saying is, black men are pearls in beauteous ladies' eyes.
'Tis true, such pearls as put out ladies' eyes, for I'd rather wink than look on them.
How likes she my discourse?
Ill, when you talk of war.
Well, when I discourse of love and peace.
But better, indeed, when you hold your peace.
What says she to my valor?
Oh, sir, she makes no doubt of that.
She needs not, when she knows it's cowardice.
What says she to my birth?
That you are well derived.
True, from a gentleman to a fool.
Considers she my possessions?
Oh, aye, and pities them.
Wherefore?
That such an ass should owe them.
That they are out by lease.
Here comes the Duke.
Mhm.
Here comes the Duke.
Peter, your Duke?
Was that Mikey? Should I read that?
Yeah,
Mike
please,
is gone.
Peter. Please.
Okay.
Peter.
How now, Sir Proteus? How now, Thurio? Which of you saw Sir Eglamour of late?
Not I.
Nor I.
Saw you my daughter?
Neither.
Why, then she's fled unto that peasant Valentine, and Eglamour is in her company. 'Tis true, for Friar Lawrence have met them both, and he is in penance wandered through the forest. Him he knew well, and guessed that it was she. But being masked, he was not sure of it. Besides, she did not intend confession at Patrick's cell this even, and there she was not. These likelihoods confirm her flight from hence. Therefore, I pray you, stand not to discourse, but mount you presently and meet with me upon the rising of the mountain foot that leads towards Mantua, whither they are fled. Dispatch, sweet gentlemen, and follow me.
Why, this is to be a peevish girl. Flies her fortune when it follows her. I'll after more to be revenged on Eglamour than for the love of reckless Sylvia.
And I will follow, more for Sylvia's love than hate of Eglamour that goes with her.
And I will follow, more to cross that love than hate for Sylvia that is gone for love.
Scene 3, the frontiers of Mantua, the forest. Outlaws with Sylvia. Come, be patient. We must bring you to our captain.
1,000 more mischances than this one have learned me how to brook this patiently.
Second outlaw, I believe, Peter. Were
Oh,
you?
yes. Come. I had forgot. Sorry. Yes. Come. Bring her away.
Where is the gentleman that was with her?
Being nimble-footed, he hath outrun us, but noises and Valerius follow him. Go thou with her to the west end of the wood. There is our captain. We'll follow him that's fled. The thicket is beset. He cannot escape.
Come, I will bring you to our captain's cave, and fear not, he has an honorable mind and will not use a woman lawlessly.
Oh, Valentine, this and I endure for thee.
Scene 4, another part of the forest with Valentine.
Oh, how youth doth breed, excuse me, how youth doth breed a habit in a man. This shadowy desert, unfrequented woods, a better brook than flourishing peopled towns. Here can I sit alone, unseen of any, and to the nightingale complaining notes, tune my distresses and record my woes. O thou that dost inhabit in my breast, leave not the mansion so long tenantless, lest growing ruinous the buildings fall, leave no memory of what it was. Repair me with thy presence, Sylvia, thou gentle nymph, cherish thy forlorn swain. What hallowing and what stir is this today? These are my mates that make their wills their laws. Have some unhappy passenger in chase. They love me well, yet I have much to do to keep them from uncivil outrages. Withdraw thee, Valentine. Who's this comes here?
Madam, this service I have done for you, though you respect not aught your servant doth, to hazard life and rescue you from him that would have forced your honor and your love. Vouchsafe me for my meed, but one fair look, a smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I am sure you cannot give.
How like a dream is this I see and hear? Love, lend me patience to forbear a while.
Oh, miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy were you, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I have made you happy.
By thy approach, thou makest me most unhappy.
And me, when her approaches to your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast, rather than have false Proteus rescue me. Oh, heaven be judge how I love Valentine, whose life as tender to me as my soul, and full as much, for more these cannot be. I do detest false perjured Proteus, therefore be gone, solicit me no more.
What dangerous action! Stood it next to death? Would I not undergo for one calm look? Oh, 'tis the curse in love, and still approved, when women cannot love where they are beloved.
When Proteus cannot love where he's loved, read over Julia's heart, thy first best love, for whose dear sake thou didst then render thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all these oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now, unless thou is two, and that's far worse than none. Better have none than plural faith, which is too much by one. Thou counterfeit to thy true friend.
In love, who respects friend?
All men but Proteus.
Nay, if the gentle spirit of moving words can no way change you to a milder form, I'll woo you like a soldier at arm's end and love you against the nature of love. Force ye.
Oh, heaven!
I'll force ye to yield to my desire.
Ruffian, let go that rude, uncivil touch, thou friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine!
Now, common friend, that's without faith or love, for such is a friend now, treacherous man. Thou hast beguiled my hopes, not but mine eyes could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say I have one friend alive, thou wouldst disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's own right hand is perjured to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry, I must never trust thee more. But count the world a stranger for thy sake. The private wound is deepest, O time most accursed. Amongst all foes that a friend should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine, if hearty sorrow be a sufficient ransom for offense. I tender it here. I do as truly suffer as e'er I did commit.
Then I am paid. And once again, I do receive the honest, who by my repentance is not satisfied, is nor of heaven nor earth, for these are pleased. My penitence, the eternal wrath appeased, and that my love may appear plain and free, all that was mine in Sylvia I give thee.
Oh, me unhappy.
Look to the boy.
Why, boy, why, how now? What's the matter? Look up, speak.
Oh, good sir. My master charged me to deliver a ring to Madame Sylvia, which out of my neglect was never done.
Where is that ring, boy?
Here 'tis. This is it.
How? Let me see that. Why, this is the ring I gave Julia.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir. I have mistook. This is the ring you sent to Sylvia.
But how camest thou by this ring? At my depart, I gave this to Julia.
And Julia herself did give it to me, and Julia herself hath brought it hither.
Oh.
How? Julia.
Behold her that gave aim to all thy oaths and entertained them deeply in her heart. How oft hast thou with perjury cleft the root? Oh, Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment, if shame live in a disguise of love. It is a lesser blot modesty finds women to change their shape than men their minds.
Then men their minds, 'tis true. O heaven, were man but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy falls off ere it begins. What is in Sylvia's face that I may spy more fresh in Julia's with a constant eye?
Come, a hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. 'Twere pity two such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven, I have my wish forever.
And I mine.
A prize!
The prize!
Prize.
Forbear, I say, it is my lord the Duke. Your grace is welcome to a man disgraced, banished Valentine.
Sir Valentine, where's the Duke?
Yo,
Is that the Duke? He's coming along, I think.
I
The Duke.
I think I don't see.
I see him coming.
You do?
I thought it was he.
No. Well, why don't you just say the line?
Peter, are you there?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
the
sorry.
Duke.
the Duke. Oh, Sir Valentine.
Yonder is Sylvia, and Sylvia's mine.
Uriel, give back, or else embrace thy death. Come not without thy within the measure of my wrath. Do not name Sylvia as thine, if once again Verona shall not hold thee. Here she stands, take but possession of her with a touch. I dare thee but to breathe upon my love.
Sir Valentine, I care not for her. I hold him but a fool that will endanger his body for a girl that loves him not. I claim her not, therefore she's thine.
Yeah.
More degenerate and base art thou to make such a means for her as thou hast done, to leave her on such slight conditions. Now, by the honor of my ancestry, I do applaud thy spirit, Valentine, and I think thee worthy of an empress' love. Know then, I here forget all former griefs, cancel all grudge, repeal thee home again, plead a new state in thy unraveled merit, to which I thus subscribe. Sir Valentine, thou art a gentleman and well derived. Take thou thy Sylvia, for thou hast deserved her.
I thank you, your grace. The gift hath made me happy. I now beseech you, for your daughter's sake, to grant one boon that I shall ask of you.
Well, I grant it for thine own, whatever it may be.
These banished men that I have kept withal are men endured with worthy qualities. Forgive them what they have committed here, and let them be recalled from their exile. They are reformed, civil, full of good, and fit for great employment, worthy lord.
Thou hast prevailed. I pardon them, and thee. Dispose of them as thou knowest their deserts. Come, let us go, and we will include all jars with triumphs, mirth, and rare solemnity.
And as we walk along, I dare be bold with our discourse to make your grace to smile. What thinks you of this page, my lord?
Well, I think the boy hath grace in him. He blushes.
I warrant you, my lord, more grace than boy.
What mean you by that saying?
Please you, I tell you as we pass along, that you will wonder what hath fortune. Come, Proteus, 'tis your penance but to hear the story of your loves discovered, that done one day of marriage shall be yours. One feast, one house, one mutual happiness.
Yay!
Yes, tis the cause, my soul.
740.